My friends, I just listened to Meghan Trainor's new album that everybody is dragging. And I just gotta ask, did I just listen to Meghan Trainor? Or did I listen to Meghan Trainor doing an impression of Sabrina Carpenter? Hey, what's up? Welcome, one and all, new and returning. If you've been to my channel before and have watched a good handful of my videos, you know my witchy white millennial ass ain't above a good hit of nostalgia. Hey, at least it's better than a hit of cocaine. But there are some facets of the past that are not worth dwelling on, like Meghan Trainor's music post thank you. Now listen, open your ears and listen to me when I tell you, I don't think Meghan Trainor's music is bad per se, but it does follow the same formula and the sound and style has not changed since she was all about that bass way back in 2014. I mean, who does not love a good Motown inspired jazzy pop moment? I can say without exaggeration that a select few of Meghan Trainor's songs have been successful at lifting my mood and getting me in touch with the light feminine side of myself that wants to dance like nobody's watching and wear pink. You tell anyone I said that, I will fucking murder you. No, but seriously though, she's a talented singer and executes such beautiful vocal slides in her catchy tracks, but I think she just hasn't made a proper pivot from 19-year-old body positivity songstress to all grown up 30-something-year-old with a story to tell about achieving success in her chosen career and becoming the wife and mother she's apparently always wanted to be. And it's quite clear after listening to Toy With Me that Home Skillet Biscuit is still playing up to her old shtick of white girl Barbie feminism that in the present day is only working for Sabrina Carpenter. Meghan Trainor just doing the same old musical styles and not expanding the themes of her songs that got her famous and on top 40 radio stations back in the 2010s isn't cutting it for her anymore because her targeted demographic audience of 90s born millennial women have grown up and are seeking out artists whose work reflects the age appropriate growth and maturity of the phase of life they're currently in right now. Like Taylor Swift sans Life of a Showgirl. I did not like Life of a Showgirl. Up until then, her music reflected on the coming of age emotional experiences that her main fan base of women in their late 20s and into their 30s were also experiencing. Mourning the life you thought you would have and that you planned for yourself as a young 20-something-year-old. Loss of long-term love partnerships. Or even finding your person and making plans to marry them. You know where I'm getting at. I mean, I hope you do. Meghan Trainor has not done that yet. And she's just taking cues from younger pop stars, seeing what works for them, and trying to emulate that for her own brand. And her fans can see right through it, are getting bored, and want to experience a more honest presentation of where she's at in her current life with her music. For stronger personal resonance that will reflect their own growth and maturity back to them in a way that makes them feel comforted and seen. And now I'm not saying in order to capture the attention of her fans again, she has to do some complete 180 and become this angsty, feminine, rage-filled screecher, because she'll never be that. But where it stands right now with her artistry, there's not much balance between super fun, dancey tracks that aren't that serious, and heartfelt ballads that get to the core of what she's really feeling about her life currently, and where she's at in her life journey. The best artists, at least in my opinion, are the ones who can let their audience in on various shades of their personality, and demonstrate their personal growth throughout the years the way Miley Cyrus has been able to do very successfully throughout her career, to the Hannah Montana era, to the Bangers era, to her current era, Something Beautiful. We've been able to witness her growth personally and professionally, while still maintaining her main brand identity as the iconoclastic pop diva. And Meghan Trainor thus far has only been single-noted with most of the stuff that she puts out. And that's reflecting in the criticism she's currently getting online about Toy With Me, and the cancellation of her Get In Girl tour, and its reported low ticket sales, that Meghan herself, probably out of embarrassment, is covering up with the common mom-wife excuse, which I'm sure plays a, probably like the smallest fraction of it, because I'm sure she has nannies and other forms of childcare with how rich she is. But I personally think it was just a blow to her ego to see the Toy With Me album not get the recognition she probably anticipated, so she just scrapped any more future plans for promotion, which of course can't confirm or deny anything. I'm not a fucking insider into the life and career of Meghan Trainor. That's just my personal theory of the why behind her stepping back. One more thing I do want to highlight and give her credit for, she did slightly try to pivot aesthetically and musically and do something a bit different back in 2016 with her second album. And no, I'm not just saying that because it was her redhead phase. The tracks and aesthetics on Thank You were a bit more edgier and had more grr power as opposed to girl. power with the women empowerment messaging that has carried her career these past 12 years. Okay, you're tired of me yapping, I'm tired of yapping at you. So let's just break down Meghan Trainor's Toy with me track by track, giving you my honest review and let you know which tracks are worth a listen, are an acquired taste, or an absolute skip. I could have made this into a tier list, but I couldn't concoct enough categories inspired by the album. So the first thing we see looking at this album cover, I assume she's trying to convey an internal emotional experience of being boxed in and treated like an object instead of a person, like a Barbie doll in a box. If I were to guess the what behind this sense of confinement, the most obvious to me is her much buzzed about and highly criticized weight loss, which we won't spend too much time on, but after she lost a lot of weight from taking Mounjaro, she got a lot of backlash and was accused of going against her own morals and becoming the very person that she always mocked by trying to go for the hot girl with the skinny bod look.
I'm trying to biohack my body. So anything that'll help me age backwards, I'm into it. Just learned about the NADs. I was like, make me Hailey Bieber. I'll do it. I'll take it.
So I guess that's where this visual of being trapped in a box comes from, if that is the idea behind the imagery. I don't know. I'm sure it's not that deep, but if you really do want to go that deep, let me read your birth chart for you. I run my own cosmic store with the work that I do in women's astrology. There's no time to get into Meghan Trainor's birth chart, but I can get into yours with the link in my channel bio. Anyway, back to the Toy With Me album. Now the first track, Get In Girl, I know it's been TikTokified and everyone and their sister are filming themselves dancing to it. But I have to say, this is the best song on the album. Most of the time they say save the best for last, but Meghan Trainor saves the best for first. The catchy tune blends very beautifully with Meghan's vocals, something in today's newer music is very hard to find. Many songs made during and post-COVID have a mismatch between the singer's voice and the accompanying instrumental. I mean, I can't factually point the finger at TikTok, but it's undeniable that when you're looking through TikTok's available music to use for a post, most of the songs have a bland melody and unflavorful vocalists. Like, where is the emotion and character up in this shit? What makes you different from the person in the search result above you that goes, "Ooh, I wear your t-shirt, you call me, I come running"? Point being, Get In Girl is basic, but it's basic and fun, and ignites the feminine urge to twirl in circles like a pretty princess, a side of me most people never or ever have had access to. Honestly, if you're in a dark night of the soul, this is the perfect track to pick you up and feel convinced everything's gonna be okay. So it's worth a listen. On to Still Don't Care. Now this reminds me of a new currency I've invented called the fuck value, the only type of currency where it's better to be broke than rich. Personally, I'm currently fuck broke and out of fucks to give. So don't expect something if you dislike my opinions on the tracks of Toy With Me. But for real, lyrically, it's clever, and cleverness is something I highly value, especially in spoken language. But it wasn't delivering much in terms of the instrumental. But I can see someone else, that's not me, enjoying it if they personally vibe with the sound and activates their individual urge to get it popping up in this joint. So I think it's going to acquired taste. Potential. Had just that. Potential to be a bop like Get In Girl. It just wasn't quite there, but it's at least head bop inducing. I just think her vocals needed more flavor to be sitting up there up in the bop section with Get In Girl. So I'd say this belongs in acquired taste. Chef's Kiss. It's nice. It's bubbly, and it makes you feel some type of good way. I definitely don't like it as much as Get In Girl, but I did find myself going back and listening to it for the sake of pure enjoyment. So I'll take that as a sign that it belongs with worth a listen. Now, Pink Cadillac. I just don't think the tone of her vocals matched the mood of the song. The song is very fast and full of extra instrumental textures, and she just sounds bored amongst it. Like she just walked into the studio and was like, okay, let's just record the shit and get it over with. Especially when she delivered the titular line, "My Pink Cadillac." Like, girl, you sound so unenthusiastic about the idea of getting in your Barbie dream car, feeling the wind blowing in your hair, feeling like your baddiest baddie self. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible song, but it definitely could have been more than what it was. But if you're really into the snazzy, campy trumpet sounds, I think you'd really like it. So I'll put that with acquired taste. Angels is a pretty good track. It has a cheerful, sentimental sound to it that makes you have the feel-good feels. And it kind of reminds me of Bruno Mars's sound, where there's elements of disco and 70s and 80s R&B. And who doesn't love popping out their back to a Bruno Mars bop? So Angels is going with worth a listen. And the song about her kiddos Little One. It's a very sweet listen and a track that, if you're a mom who loves their kids, would make you weep. This is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying she needs to tell us more about who she is and where she's at in her life journey in her music. And writing, producing, and recording a song about the love she has for her children is a more intimate peek into her life that highlights her inner world more than the tracks we've discussed so far. Because everybody can experience personal empowerment or feeling pretty, but not everyone experiences motherhood or experiences it in the same way. If they are a mother, they don't experience it in the exact same way as anyone else. That's something that's very personal to the woman. And before you say, well, it's a common experience for mothers to love their kids. Yes, it is. But the expressions of that love is individual to each and every mother. This track was a nice change of pace from the very standard themes of most of her songs. And I always think it's super cute when singers who are moms write love songs dedicated to their children. And sometimes they're better than the love songs about their lovers. So I think Little One goes with worth a listen. Princess, I wasn't pulled in at all. It was so generic, very TikTok sounding, and I was waiting to get that feminine urge to twirl and whirl, but it just never happened. So it's getting certified as absolute skip. Okay, now Rich Man was bop. It's a very Latin pop, salsa dance moment. If I had my eyes closed or I had my phone away from me while listening to a Spotify playlist and this song came on, I would probably think it was Camila Cabello singing. If you think I'm crazy, press the pause button on this video. Look up Rich Man by Meghan Trainor and let it play while your eyes are closed. You can't tell me nothing. But for real, this was probably the second best song on the album. It makes you want to do a little something with the head and the hips. Great personal empowerment anthem when you need to pick me up in an afternoon slump. So it's going with worth a listen. By the way, whatever happened to Camila Cabello? I haven't seen her in a while or heard any new music of hers. As for Delulu, the song itself isn't great, but she is talking about a very real feminine experience, times where our self-esteem takes such a hit that Delulu can be a great remedy. Personally, I think everybody could use a little healthy dose of Delulu to get through bad days and rough life chapters. You gotta just be your own cheerleader sometimes and believe the insanely positive things you tell yourself about yourself to get out of a rut and keep trucking on in life. I mean, of course, don't be so Delulu to the point of your own detriment, but sometimes Delulu really is the Salulu honey bunches of oats. And I wish more people would recognize that and feel okay with being seen as a little out there and embrace the part of them that is doing the most. But anywho, hard-hitting message with an underwhelming instrumental for me personally. So I'll just have to put it with acquired taste. Now, Men's Tears, I assume is a metaphor for alcohol since she's talking about getting down to the bar and getting a drink of it. It's just kind of boring. I just feel like she could have done more vocally. But if you're going through a breakup and you're so depressed you don't care what a song sounds like as long as it's talking about heartbreak and pain, you'd probably want to give this a listen. But other than that, it's going in the category of acquired taste. So Cry Baby is the last good song on this album. And this is the song she's trying to convince us, the listeners, that the amount of hate comments and criticism she gets from the public would make them a crybaby like her. But this listener would probably make them even bigger crybabies in response, in alphabetical order, thanks to my Mars Virgo. She had flair and range to her vocality in this track, which, as you guessed it, earns a spot at the top with worth a listen. The rest of the tracks, Ladylike, Toy With Me, Hush, and Shimmer, they all go to absolute skip because they're all unexciting, monotone, and forgettable. But anyway, that concludes my official review on Meghan Trainor's highly regarded flop era album, Toy With Me. Again, her music in general is not shitty. She just needs a little bit more variety in her sound and experiment with different styles and aesthetics that go beyond the pink Barbie doll blonde moment. That still allows her to not veer off too far from the fun girly girl brand. I'd like to see a more Broadway pop era of hers in the future, where her music grabs inspiration from the sound of modern day show tunes. I think her voice could fit really well with that. She could still be extra and be bubbly, but with a sound that's more versatile and is flexible with a range of vocal types. I don't know, but you tell me in the comments what kind of era Meghan Trainor should have next to bring fresh new energy into her corner of the music industry. And if you have listened to Toy With Me, leave your personal rankings there too. Whatever you decide to do, I just want to say thank you for watching this video, and an even bigger thank you to those of you that watched from beginning to end. You're helping contributing to the growth and reach of a very small channel. I'm filled with gratitude for your service. It would also help if you gave the video a big thumbs up, letting me know to keep covering more music related topics and share more music oriented takes in my videos, because I really do like giving my opinions on music too. But these days there's just a whole lot of music albums being released that only have like one or two good songs on them. and I can't stomach the rest to give a thorough neurospicy review about it. And if we be vibin', like really vibin', don't be shy. Go ahead and join my emotional support coven. It's such an easy coven to join. You don't have to really do much other than find the subscribe button underneath this video and tap it like this. And if you want to be the baddest witch of them all, be sure to turn on all the channel notifications so that you don't miss the opportunity to claim the first flex with each newest upload. Stay cool, stay fresh, and I'll see you next time.